my Dorks, Nerds, Geeks, and Gamers. It's your host Ghost here, and today we're on Dorks Movie Minute. We're going to be doing a review of Black Widow, of Phase 4 of the MCU, the first Phase 4 movie. But unfortunately, this is a story that should have taken place in Phase 3 or 4. This takes place right after Civil War, but before Infinity War and Endgame. So yeah, it has a little bit of a backtrack before we get to the future of the MCU and the franchise and where that's going to go. But yeah. Very good movie. We get to learn a little bit more of the Black Widow character as a whole. We get this whole Ohio origin story about her and Yelena and the Red Guardian, how they were a family, a fake family sent by the Soviets to infiltrate the American government in Ohio, which they did successfully. And it starts off with this very awesome family sequence that goes very quickly into a chase sequence with the Red Guardian hanging off a plane and firing shots, and Yelena and Natasha kind of having that emotional pull of being children and still being wrapped up in this dangerous game of being spies and stuff like that. So yeah, great opening to the movie. Then we cut into Yelena. I gotta say, first off, I'm not gonna tell you all the spoilers in the movie, but I will talk a lot about the movie. Yelena, first off, Florence Pugh does an amazing job as Yelena Belova. I cannot wait to see Yelena come back in the MCU, whether that's Hawkeye series or some other movie or feature down the road. I cannot wait to see her return. She is the stellar performance of this movie, unlike Scarlett Johansson, who should have been the standout performance. But no, Yelena kills this movie. Great replacement for Black Widow, and I cannot wait to see what they do with her character in the future. Every scene with her is hilarious. Her action sequences are great. She has this awesome character trait of doing things on accident, and it just happens to work out for the story plot. And I love that as a character trait for her. Second standout character is the Red Guardian. Awesome, another awesome character in the MCU, and I'm glad they didn't kill him off. He's still out there somewhere. But we get a lot of cool scenes with the Red Guardian. We get this prison break sequence with him and Yelena and Scarlett Johansson, where they're going through and trying to break him out, and Yelena's doing all these quips and accidentally causing stuff. And then we get to meet the Soviet bear guy. He's not transformed, but he is in the movie. So there were some cameos in that prison sequence. It's very cool, nice action piece. The one disappointment is Taskmaster. Taskmaster is a cool character in the comics, and in the movie they kind of shortened her role, into something different, something where they've done this before in the MCU, where they take a character such as Ulysses Claw and they make them less important than what they really are in the comic books. And they kind of do the same thing with Taskmaster here, and I'm kind of disappointed in that. But other than that, the Taskmaster action sequences are great. The car sequence where she's crashing through all these people in town is amazing. The sequences where she's fighting Yelena and Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow at the same time, amazing. But that's not to say Scarlett Johansson didn't do a good job as well, because she did a great job in this movie. Her acting skills are top-notch as always. She does a great job as Black Widow every time she plays the role, especially in the encounter with the main villain and her. There's this very eerie kind of feeling between the two, and the very ending action sequence is very good, and it has a lot of callbacks to the original Avengers, a lot of callbacks to the Black Widow character as she started out in the MCU. So it's very cool to see that, how they tied her origin story into kind of her origins in the MCU, and they kind of made them all mesh together and flow. It works perfectly for what they were going with. It is a Soviet kind of thriller, kind of a spy action movie. It doesn't feel too much like a James Bond movie, sort of like that, more like a Charlie's Angels style movie, where it's kind of this family going after this group of bad guys, and there's one singular bad guy they're going after, and they kind of one-up each other on each level. So yeah, very intriguing movie. It's not the perfect MCU movie, but it is a good one to watch and go into after not having MCU movies for so long. But yeah, my final score on Black Widow, good movie overall. Writing could have been a little better, and as for the placement of this and the release of this movie, I wish it would have came out a little earlier in the MCU, because right now it's kind of a drag down. It kind of drags you back to the past when all you want to do is look to the future. So yeah, I give this one a 7 out of 10. But let me know what you guys think of Black Widow. Do you guys think it deserves better than a 7? Let me know down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And as always, guys, keep it right here on Dorkston. And stay tuned for more episodes of Dorkston Movie Minute by hitting that bell icon down below, like and subscribing. And until next time, guys, I've been your host, Ghost. Adios.